live. 3 seconds
Live, people,
in,
we're live.
You know how we do. We change the bomb clock camera to us.
Boxing talk if you want.
Boxing talk. It's mad, innit? Because boxing, we've both been boxing for time now.
Yeah. It's just going to be one of them topics of conversation that's always going to crop up. You know what I mean? So it's always going to be involved at some point in our conversation, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's more natural. So sometimes on the first TV, I just feel like I'm talking to people. It's like I'm trying to get out of that habit still.
Yeah, it's sometimes it does. So that's why I just forget that the camera's even there. I just have a talk like I'd normally be talking, innit?
It's true.
I mean, they don't want to see people like, oh yeah, we're on camera, I mean, look at us. I mean, we're just having a conversation. Welcome to join us. You don't need to be all fucking giddy and that on TV. I'm famous. Mama, I've made it. Oh, you got to be cool and chilled, you know what I mean?
Respect people for joining you, fam. Me and Jordan.
Yeah.
My Instagram, by the way, is there at @CWonderGoodFella. And Jordan's is there in the
Yeah, JPowell at JPowell1990.
Yeah. It's my camera. Try to scroll down this thing. Have a look. Oh shit. That's just the thing about the thing. I've did on this. Fuck it. See, you want a good fella TV, bruv. Right in your grill. Not going nowhere. So now I need to look at the first topic, see what we've got, fam. I think you know what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, Canelo fight, man. It's fighting tonight.
Yeah, so Canelo Alvarez versus Yildirim. So let's look at titles. So Canelo Alvarez, 57 wins, 36 knockouts, sorry, my bad. 1 loss.
I mean, like I was saying, the guy who was fighting, I've never seen him box before. I didn't even know that he'd fought Chris Eubank Jr. I'd just never heard of him before.
Yeah,
I've not actually watched him.
He's one of them guys. He's got a good European style, and he walks forward. He's kind of solid, and he takes a lot of lick. But he's one of them guys. If you, for example, do you see Pretty Mike Kelly over there? Josh Kelly.
Yeah, he got fucking.
So, do you know when he lost to that German, that Russian, sorry, that Abyssinian, whatever you call him, and he's got that style. Yeah, that's what he's like.
Do you know what? He don't look too clever, does he? Do you know, like that German? He's like a right. He's not like.
It's kind of basic.
He's not one of them that looks good boxing, but he's just tough as fuck, and he'll grind you down.
That's what Yildirim's like, though. So if you're not ready for that kind of style, he can kind of beat you up. I think I saw him fighting. I saw him fight against Chris Eubank Jr. And then it's like when I saw him fight against Chris Eubank Jr., I thought it was like, what can I say? He looked a bit like a novice. Do you get what I mean?
I mean, it's like you could see he's like, yeah, it just seems like I didn't watch that fight.
Blessings, Corey, fam. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, I didn't watch that fight at Chris Eubank. So as I said, who's this guy? I don't think I've even seen him fight. And you were like, and I would just have a quick look through videos on YouTube, and I seen Chris Eubank Jr. and I didn't even know he'd fought him.
No, I said he fought Chris Eubank Jr. And I think his trainer is the same guy that trained Felix Sturm.
Felix Sturm,
the guy, the German, and he's got like a very good, orthodox, basic peekaboo guard style. Very good tight.
Aggressive kung fu.
Blessings, Bob. Respect for tuning in, fam.
Yes, I.
But this Yildirim look, he's got 21 wins, 12 by knockout. How many defeats? That's with that camera out here. I hate when he did that. I think it's in the way. Yeah, so 2 wins, 1 KO loss, and that KO loss, 2 losses. Sorry, one were to his loss was to Chris Eubank when he got KO'd. Chris Eubank stopped him. But let's have a look at the picture.
What round were it?
I'm not sure, I can't even tell you. I feel like a bit of a dickhead coming in without that kind of research, but you can see the weigh-in now. When you look at this picture, you can see the weigh-in from Canelo, and Canelo looks shorter than Yildirim. And apparently in face-off, Canelo says, obviously, the guy's coming to knock me out and beat me up. But I thought, what kind of dickhead goes into a fight? Not trying to knock you out. Forgive my French, but if you go into a fight just to get to points, you don't know boxing. I mean, you should always, in my opinion, when you box, you should be looking for knockout.
Yeah.
Did you use that as an IU fight?
No, I think when it comes to boxing, it's one of those things. If you just go in solely just looking for the
I'm
knockout.
not saying you go solely go for knockout. But it might.
No, I know what you mean. Like obviously pressing for it, but
No,
sometimes...
not even pressing for it. But basically, say if I'm fighting you, say if me and you are fighting, it's a 12-round fight, and it's like, even though when we spar we hold back, when I'm fighting you, I'm not holding back. If I see a shot where I believe I can knock you out, I'm taking it. So like for me, it should always be about that knockout. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
You shouldn't just like tick tap and go, it's gonna go 12 rounds. It's gonna go 12 rounds. Nah, bro. If I see like a right hook and your chin's open, I'm going for that KO punch.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
As soon as you see it, that's just the standard anyway. As soon as you see a shot, you just take it. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like when I look at an opponent and I go in and fight, I'm just looking at just making sure that I just do that bit more than you. You know what I mean? I just do it, whatever it takes to win that fight and just to push and grind you down. You know what I mean? Even if, let's say it were like back in old school days and we're going 15 rounds fighting. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just going to push myself and it's just, I don't know, it's just, I think the difference in boxing is just finding that little bit extra. Because everybody gets tired. It don't get any easier. You know what I mean? But it's who wants it more, isn't it?
Yeah, so if we look here, I think Robert's put is going down, he's predicted a 3rd round knockout. Robert, you're thinking 3 rounds, yeah? Do you know what it is? I don't believe it's going to go 3 rounds.
Canelo?
Yeah.
I think he's going to go out and blast him.
Nah, I don't even think that. I think he's going to take time. It's time for him to look good, you know. Thing is about
just maybe get a couple of rounds just to like keep ticking over. Because let's face it, it's a tick over fight, man.
Well, he's already signed to fight Billy Joe Saunders in May, and then apparently he wants to fight Caleb Plant after that, and then unify the super middleweight division, because they're the 2 belts he's after. But Caleb Plant, for me, is a very serious threat. He's a really good boxer. He's got a build like yours as well.
Yeah.
And also, I think he's overlooking Billy Joe Saunders. Whoever believes that Billy Joe Saunders ain't got a chance in that fight, you don't know boxing. I mean, you know Ingle's style. That's your style as well. So like, it's like you find someone and you're having a confidence that you're going to win. Even everyone believes that you're not going to win, but you've got that Ingle style, that unpredictable style.
It's like that. Yeah, I was just thinking that because like look at like Andy Ruiz when he fought Joshua. I know it's like taking a bit off the subject that we're initially talking about, but the same thing you've just touched on. So like Andy Ruiz Jr. He won the world title, and then when he came back to fight the second time, he weren't bothered. You know, that switching that mentality, you know, that just switching the brain, he weren't bothered with it.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd won the world titles, he was like, oh, he probably, I don't know, maybe in the first fight he'd won it easier than what he thought he would. And maybe that's what put that, you know what I mean? I didn't even try that hard.
Well,
you know what I mean, kind of thing.
I don't know. That's kind of a bit of a shove to even say that, do you think?
No, because like when you're proper like fitting, you're like, you've been like proper training, you're proper on it and you're hungry for it. And then sometimes, because you're going in, you're like, he will probably going in that thinking this is going to be a fucking proper battle, this. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, he probably thinking I'm going to get proper punched up, but he was coming out with that warrior mind where it's like, no matter what, I'm not going to give up. And I'm with that coming, I want to win it. You know what I mean? Some people turn up and they want to win it. It's different, isn't it?
But does that make a difference when you've got a skillful fighter like Canelo Alvarez? I mean, you can want to win all you want, but when you've got someone with that much skill, it's hard to beat.
It takes one punch in boxing, doesn't it? You know?
It does take one punch in boxing, but I think like that's a bit like saying it only takes one lottery ticket. Do you get what I mean?
No, it depends how fast you spend it.
No, but I'm just saying it takes one lottery ticket, as in everyone can get lucky with that one punch, fair enough, but also everyone can win the lottery, doesn't mean you're going to win it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're going to land that punch, especially when you're fighting someone like Canelo Alvarez, who's got a bad boy defensive style. He's super evasive and he's got a brilliant high guard and he's a fucking slick as fuck counter fighter. I mean, like Mexico, like must be super proud of where their boxing has come from, because initially Mexicans used to have a reputation for being come forward brawlers, were tough and just didn't care no matter what, they wouldn't stop. And it's like Canelo Alvarez has broke the mold, and it's like since he fought Floyd Mayweather, and his styles adapted to become more defensive.
Do you know what? It's mad how fucking you've just brought up that Floyd. I was just literally just thinking then. Do you think that if the Floyd Mayweather fight didn't happen, do you think we would have still be seeing the same Canelo that we're seeing?
No, I mean, but that's what I'm trying to say. By a loss, it doesn't essentially mean
It's a learning fight. It weren't a loss, it was a learning fight.
Yeah, so that's just a loss is like a loss on record. Technically, you've lost. But sometimes when you take a step back in life, you gain so much from that experience. And that's like same with boxing. You can, like, let me just move this picture a second. You can take an L, but in that L it's a massive learning curve.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you believe that Canelo was a better fighter since that loss?
Much better fighter. It's a completely different fighter. You know what I mean? It's like Canelo, you know what I mean? Like, he used like head movement, but it was a bit more like Golovkin. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes he were taking a good few shots and that, but then since he's fought Floyd Mayweather, his head movement's been phenomenal.
Yes, I mean, one thing I love about Canelo is his style's totally changed. He's adapted his style. He's become more of an all-round fighter with straight power, and he can't dispute his record. I mean, 57 wins, 36 knockouts, only one loss against the best fighter ever. And it's like, I believe Floyd Mayweather were perfect. Think about Floyd, not to switch about Floyd, is it picks the right fights at the right time and he gets the win. Because if he fought Canelo right now, I think he'd lose. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the reasons why he's took a backseat out of boxing. He's probably taken some of these daft fights that are just clearly just purely money fights. I mean, well, he calls himself money, you know what I mean? He's not, you know what I mean?
Okay, so my man's put, sorry bro, Newman's Jr. beat Avni Yildirim in the third round. I'm saying Yildirim 4th round stoppage. Bro, Yildirim 4th round stoppage. Is he going for upset?
What, Yildirim stopping Canelo? Nah, I don't think so. It depends. Sometimes I guess it depends how much the champion comes. You know what I mean? Like, maybe like when you were talking about the fight with Josh Kelly, maybe that's what Josh Kelly was thinking. He was like, oh, this is easy, this, blah, 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 blah. You know, he'd come in with wrong mindset and he's come unstuck.
Yeah, I mean,
it's possible for Canelo to think, oh yeah, looking past it, like organising Billy Joe Saunders fight. If he does look past this Yildirim, like this Yildirim like kind of thinks, oh, he's a bit relaxed, and if he sees a shot and he just takes it, takes that shot. You know what I mean, it takes one shot to land it, but
it does.
I don't think it will happen, but it's possible. Anything's possible.
What's his comment? Well, this is the comment from his put. Ruiz took AJ by shock. AJ did his own work and had him next fight all the rounds. I mean, yeah, he did. I just think that right now it's just
yeah, but if you look at the difference though, it just weren't the same fight. He come back, fucking put bare weight on and just not being bothered. You know what I mean? So it's like, you've got to look at it like that. You know what I mean? It's like, when a fighter wants it, it's a completely different ball game. If they're just coming in and just thinking, oh yeah, it's just a paycheck, then they're never really going to want to do what it takes to win it, you know what I mean? Because it's just a paycheck to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when somebody really wants it, you know what I mean, to be fucking put himself down as the first ever heavyweight Mexican boxer.
Yeah.
He had something he had that reason to be doing it.
Yildirim though, listen, if you beat Canelo Alvarez, think about it. If you just beat him luckily in one punch in one fight, it's like I seen Rockman when he beat Lennox Lewis. He got like 3-4 million for that fight. With the rematch, I think he got like 15 or 20 million or something stupidly daft. So obviously, if you can pull that upset off, you're sweet, aren't you? Yeah. It's like you get a big rematch clause and you're gonna get the second fight.
Do you think that's what Andy Ruiz were counting on, or wanted to happen?
No, I believe that Ruiz shot at AJ, caught him slipping, and his biggest motivation was that he become Mexico's first heavyweight world champion. Yeah. And not only that, I've always told people I think Andy Ruiz is a very good boxer.
He was, yeah. I was telling everybody before the fight, I said I didn't think he was going to win it, but I was just saying it's going to be a very good fight. It's a very interesting fight. He's a good fighter, because I watched a couple of Andy Ruiz's fights before, and he's lethal, man. Yeah. He is. I mean, a lot of people look at people and think, oh, he's just a fat, chubby guy. You know what I mean? Who wants to box, but he can bang, mate. I swear to God, he'll combo you up. He got fast hands as well. He has got fast hands.
Well, I'm just going to share this link.
Facebook link, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just...
oh, my phone's over here.
Yeah. I'll put it on my Facebook, so I apologise for not being rude. I'll move on to the next topic because we all know what's going to happen with that fight anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all know Mama's going to bang him.
You can fuck him up.
Yo, this is the show, man. I've got it on the zone. You can watch it on the zone, by the way. If people want to know where you can watch it, it's on the zone. You can buy the app.
One at a time, it's probably going to be daft o'clock, about 3 o'clock, isn't it?
Shit by the clock, innit?
Yeah.
No, for me, I think it might be prayer time. Fajr prayer, 5 o'clock in the morning. Let's have a look at this. So the next thing I'm going to talk about today is, let's just show you Insta as well, by the way. That's Jordan's Insta. What's your Insta name?
JPow1990.
Yeah, man, you can see it in corner, guys. So just make sure you give him a follow, and just come watch Jordan's videos. Jordan can box, man.
That's it, man.
I want people to have a look at my coaching page at C1MBC. Come have a look. I've got loads of videos on there. I was trained to pick them. There's some new ones. What's not on that picture because that's an old picture as well. And I think that's it. I've got my Insta page, but I don't put it on there. Looks like I deleted it off like an idiot. So the next one I'm going to talk about. Oh yeah, shout out to my guest who should have been on, Asil. Whatever reason his phone's turned off, can't catch him. I think he might.
Next time, bro. Next time.
Yeah, I think he might have something come up and he loses his boxing. So shout out to Asil. Just go check out his page. I'll put it on there again for you to have a look. Asil.more. Go check out his boxing stuff. So the next one I'm going to talk about is the ES boxing game. Yeah, and do a big shout out as well.
I've got high hopes for it, because we've been waiting for a good boxing game. So if it can be,
shout out to Ryan Rhodes in that corner there. Yo, shout out to Ryan for.
I mean, the standard that it needs to be is Fight Night champion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, from everything that I've seen, it looks wicked, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I think obviously just shit with his COVID, it's just dragging everything out. It's just shit for everybody. But I think that will literally near enough on the verge of being released. But it's just a setback. It's just fucking everything up. But we're eager for it, Ryan, man. Eager for it. We need it.
Yeah, we're eager for it, Ryan. Shout out to Ryan for pushing that game. I mean, boxing game. Let's talk boxing games. What is your favourite boxing game that you've been playing?
Like Fight Night.
But which one?
Hands down. Favourite one.
Fight Night Chapter, the latest one. Fight Night with Isaac Frost and.
Favourite, yeah. So it's going to have to be the newest one. I mean, because I like games. When I'm playing a game, I like games that look like proper realistic.
Yeah.
If it don't look that realistic, I'm not that bothered about playing it. You know what I mean? So I think, Fight Night Champions be the most realistic one.
Guys,
there's been many boxing games, haven't there?
Yeah, let us know in comments, guys. What's your most favourite? What's the favourite fighting game?
What was that one that you mentioned there? Ready to Rumble or something?
Can we Ready to Rumble boxing on Dreamcast?
Yeah.
With that afro, I come with black afro, and there was that super big chubby white guy.
Yeah.
And then there was also that Mexican guy with snazzy hair.
Yeah.
What else are on there now? Let's have a look at some pictures from. What we're talking about.
Oh, it's one of them you'll have to look at the pictures and remind you, innit? Do you know, we see a lot on Facebook, people putting old TV shows that they used to watch.
Yeah.
Remember that fucking, what it's called, Zap, whatever it's called? Remember that one?
Boxing, isn't it? Yeah, crazy that fun. I'm gonna show you some old
Rumble,
pictures.
Man.
Ready to Rumble boxing.
Take you back.
That's what we're talking, man. Dreamcast. Let's look at some characters. Yo.
Remember being proper young, man, playing that.
Oh my gosh, look at the graphics on that, bro.
Oh yeah, that's obviously that's clearly inspired by Mike Tyson or something.
Come on, look at that. Look at that fat guy there. You won't break your head in, fam. Oh, what's this guy put in?
Can you remember the Rocky game?
Robert, Robert takes pistol, he's put there. Andy Ruiz. Fast hands for a taco flipper. Taking fucking piss, mate.
Tacos!
ES boxing game, so shout out to Ryan. I'm going to show you some characters that are apparently supposed to be on the game on my phone. I'm not going to I ain't uploaded them because, we have limited time to finish the show. Jordan will help me update some of the stuff, so I'm going to get some pictures of my phone.
Well, they've gone a lot into, from what I've seen, they've gone a lot into building your own character as well. There's a lot of features in that.
Yeah, so first of all, shout out, we've got Sugar Ray Robinson on the game. They've got Joe Lewis on the game. Jack Johnson on the game.
Legends, all legends.
They've got Rocky Marciano on the game.
If you don't know these, then you're not a true boxing fan.
And shout out to my boy, Ryan the champ, Spice Boy Rhodes. Look at him there,
Yeah,
right?
Spice Boy.
I bet all the girls were on you there, Ryan. But Danielle was like, yo, he's my man.
Get into fights every night.
Yo, game was sick. Gin. Just going to pass it that lemonade, fam. Respect towers, man. Tell you, but no, I don't.
Bit of market branding and all.
Shout out to our wife's lemonade. Throw an advert.
If you feel thirsty, take a drink. God damn it.
In the shade.
What make it again?
Alright, isn't it? Come on, cuz. But alright, so. Oh, we need nice rum. But obviously, I'm not drinking right now. I'm trying to be good in them things there. So, let's have a look at what comments that we got. So, ES says needs to be slower pace than fight night. I didn't finish showing you the characters, man. There was another one on there. I'm gonna go to Ryan Rhodes' the ES game. I'm gonna show you the thing. I want to show you the video. They got Jack Dempsey.
No, I was just thinking that when you spoke, Jack Dempsey can be on there as well.
And Floyd Patterson, I think.
Yeah, can you remember the Rocky game as well?
And Floyd Patterson. I'm gonna show you the latest one, the character editing video. I'm gonna try to show you, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for it though.
Oh, look at this one as well. Modern one. Joe Joyce.
They look proper real though, don't they?
Looks sick, fam. We've got Joe Gallagher on there, Alexander Povetkin as a trainer, Todd Grisham. Let's see what you make of it.
Everything looks really good, it looks good, man. It's like coming out on all three consoles as well, Xbox, PlayStation and PC.
So, shout out to Pete Galahad. Shout out to Dalton Smith. Who liked the video. Ryan Rhodes.
Yeah, it does look sick that game though. So
Yeah, so that's all I'm going to talk about the game because I'm sick of talking about it. I want it to be out. You get what I'm saying though, Joe?
Stop making us wait, goddammit!
Right, so the next one. Come on.
Do you know what I say? I think a lot of people don't like understand how much work actually goes into a game. Do you know, like when you play it and you think, oh yeah, it's very good, it's like it takes years. Some games like take years and years and years worth of development, and then obviously this with fucking COVID and that.
Jin says it needs Hitman Hearns on there.
Yeah, I think it's got Ricky on it.
Hitman Hearns, Thomas Hitman Hearns.
Oh, Tommy Hitman.
The real Hitman. Robert says, I love Knockout Kings with Mickey Ward.
You're going to have Marvin Hagler on that one as well?
It was sick that. That's a start of Era's
I
boxing.
think it needs to have Marvin Hagler on.
Yeah.
After all that legends.
That was start of
Four Kings.
Of it. Yeah, it's true still. Apparently on that game, remember one more look on that one because I think there's a few characters on there that I forgot to mention.
Do you know what I don't like about some fight nights and stuff?
What?
It's like they bring like so when we like UFC and stuff, they bring a couple of characters that are like bonus characters.
Yeah, you got
like they should be on the game anyway. You know what I mean?
It's a teeth, isn't it? Well, come on, there's no people.
Oh, you're gonna pay £2 or you're gonna pay £3 for this. That's
the favourite character on there that I'm looking forward to using. Conor Ben. Conor Ben looks really good on it. Yeah. Yeah, man.
There's a lot of people, doing reviews about the game on YouTube as well. Do you know, from what they've seen.
You can check it out still. But let's look at the next one. Promoters' roles in boxing. Do you think there's too many? Do you think there's too much politics in boxing because of promoters?
I think so. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't really know who any of the promoters are. They're probably the main people that like look, or like probably a lot of the viewing audience probably only know some of them. Like Eddie Earn, they probably know Eddie Earn, or I mean maybe Frank Warren.
No,
But I don't think that many people know who the actual promoters are. So a lot of them like keep a bit out of the way, don't they? Don't really.
Yeah, I mean there's Eddie Earn, there's Frank Warren, there's Sauer brothers. This is obviously the ones that are not elite level. There's Al Heyman.
Oh, in fact, yeah, Al Heyman.
There's Top Rank and Bob Arum.
Bob Arum. Yeah.
What you've got now, so Eddie Earn, he works with Sky Sports and The Zone. Yeah. You've got Bob Arum, he works with. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Does he work with
And there's
ESPN?
Golden Boy Promotions. And
ESPN. He works with. And then you've got PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, which is Al Heyman, and he works with Showtime, I believe, and Fox Sports. So obviously, what you've got now, imagine it. Like in England, we've got BBC One, BBC Two, BBC Three, BBC Three, BBC Four. You got all the different channels. But then you got ITV, the rivals. So it's like because they work on rival networks. Sometimes they'll sign, for example, all the fighters, rather than being UFCs having all the fighters under one, all these boxers have got like separate TV contracts, separate TV networks, and they all fight for different belts with different promoters. So it's like, it's cross-platform and it's like Xbox trying to fight PlayStation. Sometimes the fights can't occur because of politics, and I think that's destroying boxing.
Yeah,
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. There's too much politics in it. I mean, it's like, everything seems to be about money in boxing. It's like, as I said like on previous podcasts, it's like people aren't really in love with the sport anymore. They're doing it because they know, oh, well, that makes me money, that gets me paid.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's mad. It's like a lot of people are not doing it for the right reasons. That's why they're not getting as far as what they could, because I think, oh yeah, I'll get a bit like, it's like some fights you just watch him, it's like he's literally just turned up for a paycheck.
No, but that's the reason everyone knows, like, you can't always have the best fights because they're all politics. Do you get what I'm saying? So the promoter's role in boxing, that's what we're trying to say. It's by observing, knowing that that's always going to occur. Unfortunately. Yeah, do you get what I mean?
But like back in the day, before like too much like politics and stuff come into it, were like everybody just wanted something to do. Do you know, like people like they go like pubs or whatever, or they just want something to do because like bored or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what it used to be like back in the day. People used to do boxing. They found something new to do. Everybody started doing it and thinking everybody's just fighting everybody, just to find out who the artist, and the person who was the artist or was the champion back then is the actual champion because he's fought everybody that's even challenged him. You know, I mean, it could be like in boxing, like before they started making it like a proper sport, it could be two guys in the street, and you know, like when you watch like gypsy fights and stuff.
I know,
that's probably what it would have been like.
I know, but come on, man.
Like proper back in there.
Yeah, I know, but it's got to evolve, hasn't it, though, fam?
I know, but it's like, it's just too about the money. It's like people are scared to fight people, or they're like, oh, I'll wait, and like proper like waiting for like the perfect time to try and fight them. It's like, just look, if you're both in your prime, you're both ready to fight, you've both got something to prove, just fight each other.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you got to kind of adore UFC. And that's
just get in, they don't fuck about.
No, but in UFC, I think you champion for about fucking 10 minutes and then somebody else comes on and kicks your ass because there's no politics. In boxing, you can literally pick who you fight, when you fight, and there's like umpty fucking 10,000 divisions. And I mean, I'm gonna bypass something. I'm just gonna scroll.
Well, like some fighters, they'll only fight certain fighters once they've taken a loss. I mean, it's like, just look, if you want to prove you're the best, just get in the ring and just fight them. You know what I mean? Just fight, and don't be like, oh well, I want to wait until this, or I want to fight, want to have this fight or that fight first. You know what I mean? Just fight and find out who's the best.
I mean, let's go to this one now. The promoters role in boxing, we've gone to that. Let's just look at this one.
Do you think if it weren't for the fighters having a dictatorship in what actually happens, do you think the promoters would have it literally just that way.
If is in what sense?
So, just chuck them in as many as well. You want to prove the best.
No, are you crazy, fam? All right.
It's my golden egg, so I need to protect it.
Clock it. Say. Why would some champions? Why would you just throw him into best fights and take a L when you can build him up? You need to build a fighter up in it. It's like yeah. Not even that. It's not even that. Obviously, like if you look at Floyd Mayweather, when Floyd Mayweather first came out with Bob Arum in it, and he come from Olympics and won a bronze medal. Yeah. So to everybody, Floyd were a third best. He weren't the best, even though he got robbed. He was a third best. Oscar De La Hoya, he came out of Olympics and he had a gold medal. Yeah. So Floyd even said when he was fighting, he got like 300 bags, $1 million. I got like 30 grand, 20 grand. And it was obviously Bob Arum tried to paint him up to be like this pretty boy Floyd. That was his first initial name. And he goes, but I went about that bit being pretty. I wanted to get in there, knock people out, and I wanted that money. So he goes, apparently he paid like 300 grand, bought himself out of the contract against Bob Arum, and become his own promoter. Because he had a way of promoting himself, taking the right fights at the right time. See, promoters, what they do, they might build you up, but also it's all about using their contacts. How can they make the most money out of you? You're their asset, innit? Do you get me? So it's like, if you're a promoter, you're not going to throw him in there with best fights and go, oh yeah, fuck it. I've just signed up for $1 million, throw him in one fight, make $500,000. It don't make no sense. It's a business, man. You get what I mean? All these men are businessmen in suits. Look, so we're going to the next category. Weight categories. Are there too many? We talked about it earlier. We started off with 8 categories, yeah? And now there's like 17 categories.
It's making it like easier for people to just like, oh, that'll do, or I'm this way, or it's like, I mean, back in the day there were only like so many. How many weight categories were there? Something like 5 or something.
So 8 there, initially 8 categories. It might have been started off with like 3 or something, lightweight, middleweight, everywhere. I don't know, but.
It's making it easier. Do you know, like I was watching this interview with Nigel Benn, and he was saying something about, with Conor Benn and that, like one of the times he like had maybe a different disagreement with him because Conor Benn said it was raining, so he didn't want to go for a run. And like Nigel Benn were like, back in the day, I didn't care whether it was sleeting, snowing, whatever.
Yeah.
If we're going for a run, we're going for a run.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, we're not going to run today because it's raining. I think that's the difference now with boxing back then. You know what I mean? People are proper hungry for it. Like back in the day, you know what I mean? We proper wanted it. And that back then, that's when I proper loved boxing. You know what I mean? Like now, I love boxing anyway, but some of the fights you see, it's just not like it used to be. People have just not got that grit anymore. Because a lot of politics is taking over.
Politics has always been involved in boxing, though. Always.
It has, yeah.
So look at this one. Boxing encyclopedia. So I'm going to go to the next one. Is there too many titles?
Yeah, there is. There's too many.
I mean, UFC, what I like about UFC is like...
There's one title for each weight category, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean...
One title for each weight category, everybody fights for it.
Yeah. There should be one belt, but obviously there's not, and people don't understand. We looked at the first initial belt. I'm going to show you some facts here now, look. Let's go to the facts. The first heavyweight belt.
WBA.
Yeah. First ever is WBA, 1921. Jack Dempsey versus what?
What is it?
George Carpentier.
Carpentier, that's it.
Yeah, we saw this picture in corner next to Jordan, and that's Jack Dempsey there. First ever world title, that's in 1921. So that's a fact for there, that.
Not first ever world title.
And what's the oldest ever belt? We found that out as well, didn't we?
The Lonsdale belt, isn't it? That's the oldest ever belt.
So, facts, Lonsdale belt is the oldest belt, and it was made in 1909. That's crazy. I mean, so...
It's like literally the nicest belt. I mean, it's like proper nice belt to look at.
That's me, look, oldest belt.
It's a proper nice belt to look at.
Yeah, it's a beautiful belt. It's one of my favourite belts to look at, and I wish that when I was boxing, I just wanted to win one of them. That was like my aspiration as a boxer. I didn't even care about American titles.
Well, it's one of them. You got to set goals. I mean, it's like everything. I mean, you can't just like expect everything just on a plate. I mean, you've got to like, right, that's my first goal. That's what I want to seek out to win.
Yeah.
I want to stop at nothing to get it. And then you set yourself another goal. It's like, right, I've done that. I've won that outright. Now I'm going for the next thing.
Yeah. I mean, look at this. This is whose belt it is, by the way. Shout out Ryan Rhodes again. That's Ryan's belt who I'm holding. Right there, that's when Ryan won the belt.
And he's still got a record for like being youngest.
Yeah, well, this is another fact.
Youngest within how many years? 50 something years.
He was youngest. Yeah, so interesting fact. Ryan Rhodes, youngest belt holder at 20 years old, the quickest to own it outright after 90 days. After beating Del Bryan even. Yeah, so get rid of me. Get rid of this picture, Ryan. And big up Ryan here, look. Look how young you are there. Snazzy, fucking solid, Ryan. Look at the size of him there, bro. Like a tank. Yeah.
Won everything, Ryan, though, and he won everything. You know what I mean? Just fell short of the world title, though.
But he's fought for the world title. And he fought Canelo Alvarez, man. People don't understand. If you hadn't seen Canelo Alvarez fight Ryan Rhodes, watch that fight. Ryan shows him some tricks in that fight still.
Does.
Yeah, mad thing. But shout out to Ryan there. Big up, Ryan. Big up. And one more time, see me holding the belt. Proud of myself holding that shit, even though it there. It's 60 still. That's gas. This is a controversial vote. Who do you think the best promoter is in boxing?
Who do I think?
Yeah, of course.
I think the one that's making more fights happen and keeping his fighters a lot more busy would probably be Eddie Hearn. I know there's like big giants like Bob Arum and Al Heyman and stuff, but I think Eddie Hearn is trying to satisfy everybody, like get as many fights for as many people as he can. Knowing the people that really want to fight and want it, I think he is making a lot more fights. Like most fights that are happening now, are probably Eddie Hearn shows.
He must. He must be making his old pops proud, Barry Hearn. Because like people don't even seem to understand that it all started with his dad Barry Hearn. People like Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank, Frank Bruno. I'm sure he did Frank Bruno. He even had a lot of American fighters, and he was charismatic and charming like his son. But the thing about Eddie Hearn, what I love about Eddie Hearn, is how he can talk. I mean, I'm not saying talking is important because it's not all about just talking.
You can tell he proper gets excited when he's like watching the fights. I mean, it's not just a visit. I think you can tell it's not just a visit. He genuinely gets excited and loves watching boxing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it in when he's talking. He's like, you can tell he's proper excited.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's like that comment there we said that from Benji Christopher. Best promoter is the one who has the most money and the most influence. But that would come across as being Eddie Hearn. He's working with his own. He's got Sky Sports Boxing. I think he's had Sky Sports Boxing for the last 10 years. And he's international.
Well, they did that one in the back garden. They did quite a few shows in the back garden, in headquarters, didn't they?
With his back garden, fam. I went back garden, a fucking stadium, fam.
His back garden. The headquarters, isn't it?
You know? Eddie Hearn was born not only with a silver spoon, he was born with a gold spoon, legs, fucking mansion, cars, everything.
Which spoon do you want, son?
But best promoting boxing is a very difficult question to ask because obviously what we see, and from what I can see, he's got to be Eddie Hearn, undisputed. But Al Heyman's very influential in the boxing world, and this thing is about Al Heyman, he's taught the opposite to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn talks a good game. Al Heyman is a good game. He's got the business, and you don't see him in the forefront.
He's been around a lot longer, you know.
Well, you don't see him in the forefront, do you? On camera like we are now. He's like in the background. You don't even know who he is most of the time. I'm really not got a picture for you to see.
It's like the shadow people.
I've got a picture on my phone actually, and I'll show the picture of my phone. The promoters that we're talking about, just to put a face to names. I downloaded them. I'm supposed to have had them on, but It's a while back.
What were this?
Eddie Hearn, Al Heyman,
Yeah.
Bob Arum,
Arum.
Frank Warren. So we'll start. That's what me and Jordan got as the number one promoter. Is Eddie Hearn. Yeah, and then this is Al Heyman. He works with a lot of American fighters. He's got a couple of British fighters, and a couple of British fighters who I know. Shaquille Thompson, Dante Dixon, would love to work with this guy. And this is Bob Arum. He's one of the most influential people in boxing. He's been out since Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. He worked with Marvis Marvin Hagler. And I can't list how many people he works with, but he's got a lot of people. Currently he's got Terence Bud Crawford, he's had Manny Pacquiao, he's got Shakur Stevenson. The guy's a very good promoter. And he got obviously one of my favourites. I love all that Frank Warren. People don't understand about Frank. He's been around the game since Prince Nazim. He made Naz super famous. What else has he made famous? Joe Calzaghe. He had Ricky Hatton. And Frank Warren's probably been involved with every British fighter. Tyson Fury.
Frank Bruno's promoter.
He's got Tyson Fury. He's definitely one of the best promoters in the world. And then you got these who are underrated. Sauerland brothers. And they work with Sturm. They work with Chris Eubank Jr. They work with George Groves. Frampton, I believe. So yeah, there's a lot of promoters, and shout out to the low promoters, like low people coming up. Like for example,
I think if you want
promoters.
a full list of all promoters, you can have a look on British Boxing Board of Control.
Is it British Boxing Board of Control?
And I think the American one for like Bob Arum, you have to look on there'd probably be like an American version of British Boxing Board of Control website. But all promoters in Britain are on there.
Are they on there?
Yeah.
Have you been contacted or what? Give me a title shot!
and Adam Etcher's trying to go into like... Is he going into
shout out Adam Etchers as well for he started off as a middleweight boxer, did well.
Very good, can punch very hard.
And he's a very... Do you know what? I did my tactic course with him. He's a super nice guy, Adam Etchers. I like him a lot. If you saw him from afar, you'd think he looked like one of them gangsters that are snatcher or something.
Yeah, he is. He's always sound.
He can move into them circles if he wanted to as well. But at the same time, think about that. He's a super nice guy. Adam Etchers, man. Rate that guy still.
He's his proper sound. He's always said right to me. I've said hello to him. And that. Always polite.
Benji Christopher says, Tumana Kunta Kinta Promoters.
Promoters like that, it's like, they'll be like, if you lose this fight, you're not going to lose any money on that. We're going to fucking kill you if you lose this fight. You've got to win this fight.
He says, he says here, look, however, influence can be translated as manipulation. Do you know what it is? I do believe that a lot of boxers will get manipulated by promoters just because promoters have a vision for that fighter. And a fighter, when you go in there as a fighter, you just want to fight for a title and you just want to win. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas a promoter, they've got a vision for you. They've got a route or a plan or a plot. And they might even think, do you know what? And this sounds fucked up, but it's true. Some promoters will promote me and you. Yeah. So just say I'm a promoter, I've got me and you.
Yeah.
You've got 15 wins, 7 losses.
Yeah.
I've got 19 straight wins. I sell more tickets than you. You don't really sell tickets. Obviously, the promoter's going, yo, I don't really want Clinton to lose to this guy.
Yeah. He's my cash cow.
Clinton makes more money than Jordan, so why am I going to want Clinton to lose? But I'll set up a fight against Jordan, because I want Clinton to win Jordan, so he's got another win in his record. Then they'll come to the Open and say, yo, Jordan, what I want you to do is just win on points in this box and don't really try and knock him out. And they'll go to you, fucking knock him out. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like they're playing both sides, manipulating both sides, and I know that occurs. So
of course it does. It's like go to the thing, we'll pay you some money just to take a dive or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it can be very shy.
Just chuck yourself on floor. I mean, we've seen some terrible ones. It's like you look on YouTube and you can see some ones where you can clearly see the person's not even hitting and they've just chucked themselves on floor.
Well, but that's another thing as well. I know boxers who are professional, and it sounds fucked up to say this about them.
Very shit actors, basically.
Yeah, just kind of that. And basically what they've done now, they've told me, I'm getting about $3 grand for this fight, yeah? But at the same time, I've been training like once a week for the last 3 months. Yeah. So they work a job, they've got a family, so they go in there, they take 2 tool lick after 40 seconds and just drop to the floor and call it a day. They're saying, yo, I made $3,000 in two tumps.
Yeah.
Do you get me? What's the point of me staying in there to lose anyway and get battered throughout the entire fight? So unfortunately, I know this occurs because this has been taught to me off a professional boxer on more than one occasion as well. But that's just the sport in which we are. You get me? It's just let's move on to the next subject because these promoting kind of gets me vexed still.
Yeah.
So legal license to kill, the dangers of boxing. I think shout out to Joseph who put this on as a topic on my Instagram at @C1Goodfella. You can see it in the corner. Shout out to Jordan's Instagram up there, not Jordan, but that there. Joe Powell 99. Yeah, so that's a big thing. Another thing as well. I'm gonna put this on the screen. We all do this voluntary. Feel free to donate when it's on YouTube. I'm gonna put my PayPal link in there. Shout out to the PayPal link, John. We get paid. I'm joking. No, but obviously we helps buy things like the lights and the microphone and things for the show. So it's gonna be on the YouTube channel. Be a PayPal donate. Even 50p helps a lot from every person that adds up, man.
I say we've got big plans to do stuff with it as well. You know what I mean? It's like we're planning on taking it on the road. But what is it?
Charity thing, man.
1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, do you know the thing is, right? We're far enough from 1,000 subscribers, and then obviously, like once we get to 1,000, we can take it on the road and do charity. That's his intention.
Well, it's like my brother from Leeds, Ryan Snape. He does a lot of stuff like that. You know, like with helping the homeless. Like he did the recent one called "Get Your Kit Off," where we're asking for donations for people's clothes that they don't want to give to like the homeless people in Leeds and stuff. And it's like.
Shout out to Ryan, man.
It needs to be done, man. We need to start doing a bit more. Like if we can get, I mean, maybe some donations, then we can start doing stuff like that ourselves and like speaking to these people. You know, because it's like finding out why they're homeless, like what decisions they make. You know, what I mean, not like to like speak to them, like belittle them and like or whatever. Just understand them and just maybe help them, guide them in the right way to think, do you know what, you don't have to be like this, you know what I mean, you don't have to, you know what I mean, I don't know, it's just one of them, it's like, how have you ended up getting there, and what's it got to the point where nobody seems to be helping you, how can you be homeless, and, you know what I mean, it's like these shelters and stuff, in fact, aren't they shut all them down, do you know, like Salvation Army and stuff, when they'd seen something like they had to shut it all down.
So shout out to Ryan, you know, he's doing his work in Leeds, that's Jordan's brother, look them side by side. Like you can't tell, look. Mugshot. Yeah, so Leeds Outreach Programme again, doing big things in the community. And if you can have a look on that Facebook page, they're requesting clothes in West Yorkshire and they're giving back to the homeless. I think it's a fantastic initiative.
Yeah. Well, I asked Ryan he's speaking to his company and like maybe if we get him on a show, like maybe the next one or as soon as we can.
Yeah.
And you know, so we can have a bit of a chat about the stuff that he does and like what he does around Leeds and stuff. Because I think it's fantastic, you know what I mean? Because it's like he's been there himself, you know what I mean? On front line, you know what I mean? He's been there himself, so it's like when he speaks to people, he's the perfect example. There is a way.
Yeah, of course he is.
You don't have to sit there and just like think, oh, everything's going to be a certain way and stuff. You know what I mean? If you look, or you know what I mean, maybe I don't know. You don't have to like fall out with everybody, but just change your circle or start doing different things, and then things will come to you. You know, well, it's not all doom and gloom.
This is it. I'm just talking about like life in general. You have to take steps and take action towards bettering yourself anyway, regardless of your circumstance. We all get caught up in melancholy and get caught up in ruts, but it can be difficult at times. But you have to stay positive and be around positive people, like Jordan was saying.
Yeah, that's it. Positive mindset.
Let's move on to the next one. Legal license to kill, dangers of the boxing. Boxing. What did Brennan used to say all the time? Boxing's a sport. Only sport you can get killed.
Legally get killed.
You can legally get killed. So yeah, I'm fully aware of the boxing dangers. I mean, Brennan used to tell us every single day.
We're not fucking tickling each other with rubber feathers, are we?
Well,
What is it that Ricky feather dusters? That's it. We're not tickling each other with feather dusters. We're boxing. We're hitting each other. It's a dangerous sport, man.
Yeah, it's true talk.
It's funny. Ricky Hatton's funny. It's funny, man. Says some funny things.
It's not a tickling competition, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not a tickling competition. But it's right though. I mean, you're getting in there and you're fighting. Everybody knows it's a dangerous sport. I mean, everybody knows what can happen if you take your eye off the ball. I mean, it's a dangerous sport, man.
Yeah, so boxing's the only sport you can legally get killed, but not really. In Thai boxing, in mixed martial arts, in MMA, you could die in both of them. They're both contact sports. They're all contact sports, aren't they? I mean, this sounds kind of crazy, but if someone could really, while we're online now, if someone could Google how many people die because of NFL, because I watched the film where they keep them getting hit in the head and they get concussed. And NFL, they're gonna
any contact sport.
No, but what I'm trying to say, this was worse.
Even rugby.
No, but NFL were worse. The reason it was worse is because they weren't dying on the spot. They were dying later on down the line, and through constant hits. Because you know all the sack when they it's called a sack, innit? Yeah, it's peak still. A lot of people die in NFL, so every sport's got its risk.
Remember the big guys, they could pack a lot of force when they fully running at your full belt. I mean, it's like you've got a ball and you can pass it, otherwise they're just going to proper take you clean out of it. You know what I mean? You can get whiplash at that. You know what I mean? By a big guy running at you in proper full force.
When you see some of them sacks, and
Frank Bruner said it's the only thing that he's scared to do, and he looked at it I go in ring and stuff, and I'm boxing and stuff like that, but I wouldn't dare.
What, American football or rugby?
Rugby. Frank Bruner, I wouldn't dare do rugby. You know what I mean,
rugby's a serious thing from rugby, but it's instilled in the British people's DNA. We learn that at school. So, like I said, this is the danger. There's all dangers. There's all dangers in all sports, but I'm sure I'm aware of the risks, and it's very sad. And shout out to all the people who've died currently because of boxing. I mean, one of the most fights I can remember when Chris Eubank fought. Oh, that guy now, he broke him up.
Yeah, he put
him on.
Blackwell. Nick Blackwell.
Nick Blackwell.
Nick Blackwell, isn't it? Sure, it's Nick Blackwell.
Yeah. So it says JP, Jordan Powell, boxing has a dark history. Read about it. It's only licensed to prevent it from going underground. That's what. That's a comment there. Let's just share that on screen.
But it was illegal boxing, wasn't it? There's one point they made it illegal.
Yeah. So boxing, it still is. There's still a lot of unlicensed fights that go on. I mean, you fought on unlicensed shows.
Yeah. I thought the last fight I had were on an unlicensed show.
Yeah, so Jordan's partaking in fights that are unlicensed, and we all know how well the dangers of boxing, but it's one of them things that I'll always love boxing. I believe that it's human nature to fight, innit? So we're always going to be fighters anyway. So
everybody's got that response. It's either fight or flight. You know what I mean? It's like if I'm going to fight, I'd rather do it in the ring and get paid for it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, what's the point doing it any other way? I mean, it's like these days, it's only going to end up one way.
Well, this is one of the dangers. Look, this is what another comment about here. It says shrinking down to make weight to get an advantage. Do you think that's a problem in boxing?
Shrinking down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a problem. You basically, if you're shrinking down to fight somebody, you're just basically taking away your fundamentals. You know what I mean? It's like when we were talking about the Kelbrook and Golovkin fight.
Yeah.
That was too soon to be switching weights up like that. A lot of people don't understand. Your body needs to adapt to that weight change, and if you've not given it long enough, then you're not going to perform to your best ability. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that the situation would have been completely different in the fights, but if you don't give yourself enough time to naturally settle into that way, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, you know what I mean? People used to fight each other, like Nigel Benn. I think that they had to organise a longer training camp or something, didn't they?
Did they?
I can't remember that. There's so many things you've got to be smart about what you're doing, man. If you're going to be training in, you're taking up so much weight. You've got to let your body adapt to that shit. You know what I mean? And I think it was too soon.
How soon though?
I think maybe Kell Brook should have negotiated a double training camp. I mean, plenty of boxers have done that before. I mean, you're taking up so much weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like what happened. I mean, like he did look like it first 4 rounds. He looked shit hot. You know what I mean? He was like
against Golovkin.
Yeah, against Golovkin, he looked shit hot, and he was like catching him with shots, but then he started dying out. Now, Kell Brook, when he were at welterweight, when he was his natural weight that he's always been at, he's always kept at that same weight.
No, but he didn't shrink down to make that. He put weight on.
Yeah, no, he put on, but you still got to let your body adapt to it. You can't just put that much weight on and think, oh yeah, man, I can still do the same amount of rounds at the same pace. It's not going to happen.
Do you think Kell took that fight and put all that weight on because a lot of people were avoiding him at welterweight?
Well, yeah, obviously that's what were happening. A lot of people were avoiding him because, like, he were like stopping everybody. Like everybody who said like he was going to be a problem towards Kell Brook, he's stopping him. He's stopping him in very good fashion as well. You know what I mean? He's like, he can punch very hard. He's very accurate as well.
Who, Kell?
Kell Brook, yeah, he's very accurate.
No, he's super accurate still. I like Kell's work rate. I mean, also like I believe his accuracy. What else I can remember about sparring Kell? The guy don't really relent. He don't really stop. He's constantly coming forward. Even when you watch him against Errol Spence, that were a fight literally all the way through till then.
It were. But see, with just that first fight with Golovkin, again coming straight back down to welterweight. For me, he was still winning that fight anyway. We're winning that fight on points anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people. You know what I mean? A lot of people that I'd say, this is probably going to be a bit controversial, but the people that are not true boxing fans, that's when he quit, he did this, he did that.
Quit against
He quit. You know what I mean? It's like, fucking, you've got to be smart. Like, obviously, he wants his career to go on, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not worth losing your eye.
No, but this is because the strategist to win a fight then. The strategist to win against Golovkin, do you think he chose the wrong strategy? Or do you think he just got beat by the better man? I mean, because I don't think any other strategy would have worked.
No, I don't think the strategy was wrong. I think it was just the fact that he just didn't have long enough to settle properly at that weight. Because that's what happens when you're shifting through weights and stuff. You'll feel fantastic for the first bit, but then it gets you towards the end. Like normally, with Kell Brook, he's just proper sharp all the way through the fight.
Yeah, I mean...
And he rarely takes a back foot. I mean, I think the only person that I saw him like go on the back foot really against were like Carson Jones.
Carson Jones' first fight, bro. I thought Carson Jones probably linked that fight, to be honest with you.
You think?
Yeah.
I think Kell Brook took the first six rounds, and then Carson Jones he just kept coming, and he was just pressuring. Like he's another one of them fighters, Carson Jones. He don't look like pretty when he fights, but he'll just grind. I
think that was
like when it comes to fighting, it don't matter how you look.
I think that it don't, but at the same time, I believe it does. But that's just a different argument.
But when it comes to winning fights, like obviously people want to see people get knocked out in like dramatic fashion, like that was fantastic.
But this is it.
When it comes to winning a fight,
would you rather watch a guy have 50 wins and he went 12 rounds and won on points, or would you rather a guy have 20 wins by a straight knockout? He might lose 2 after a knockout, but carry winning by a knockout. I'd rather watch the guy with 20 knockouts. Do you get what I mean?
I think the general public
just tick tap around the ring.
Yeah, I think the general public.
Or would you rather a guy just come and bam, bam, bam? Yeah, just knocks a man clean out.
I think the general public would always say we just want to see people get banged out, which it's a harsh reality. No, but that's what boxing is. But
animalistic nature. I'd rather watch Mike Tyson, pre-early Mike Tyson, than later version of Floyd.
I prefer watching longer fights.
No.
Because
would you rather watch pre-early Mike Tyson, like 20-year-old Tyson, when he was knocking everybody out, or would you rather watch Floyd later on in his career? I'm not saying early Floyd, because early Floyd used to knock everybody out, but I'm saying late Floyd. Obviously, I know he outboxes people, but would you rather watch someone knock man clean out, or would you rather just tip-tap to points? It's boring, fam. Obviously, I respect it because that's how I box. No, I'm old. I'm like, yeah.
I just keep saying. I just love the art of boxing and just having that. If one way is not working, finding another way to do it.
Do you want a drink, Cos?
You know what I mean?
I'd rather, yeah.
I mean, like, it's exciting, it's good to see people get knocked out and stuff, and it's exciting, like thinking, oh, fucking hell, you see how he knocked him out, but when you actually watch boxing and you're watching these longer matches and you can see
the strategy.
The strategy.
Yeah,
people are proper trying to press them, trying to like put it on them, and you can see the cogs working in the brain. It's like, how the fuck am I going to get rid of this guy? You know what I mean? He just keeps coming. I mean, I can't really land a clean shot. That's when you like see.
Who's your favourite?
That's what it separates the men from the boys in boxing, I think. Because when the people give up, I think sometimes you'll see some of these fights, and they're not even really getting hit properly, but they've just given up.
It says here, let's share this comment though. I want to see versatility. You know when someone is fighting a bum within the first rounds. But Mike Tyson weren't fighting bums though, fam. He was fighting Leon Spinks.
Yeah,
and look at all these men and banging them clean out. Do you get what I mean?
That's what I mean about the old school fighters. He was banging them clean out. You know what I mean? People that are like, do you know what I mean? Like good fighters, proper good fighters. You know what I mean? Like maybe at the beginning of his career, like might be a couple of people that weren't great known, but he was doing it to sparring partners as well. It's like, if he was sparring, it's not a spar, we're not tip-tapping.
No, but
he's knocking your fucking head clean off. You know what I mean?
Even if you're 16.
He used to take his head guard off because he likes to feel the punches, isn't it? Yeah, he liked to feel the punches and like roll with the punches and stuff. And it's like, if I'm sparring you, I'm not tip-tapping you, I'm going to knock you the fuck out. Yeah. I mean, I'm not tippy-tapping you.
Yeah, standard. Come on, fam. Come on, cuz. I think that's the next one. Strategies to win a fight.
Strategies to win a fight. There's many strategies. I think if you look to a fight and you think, oh well, I'm going to follow this strategy to win this opponent, I think that's the wrong mindset to have. The mindset you need to have, it's like, I don't care what his style is.
Yeah.
I don't care what he brings to the table.
Yeah.
I'm going to do whatever it takes to win it. You know what I mean? Because you could be expecting a certain style. You might look at a few videos and thinking, oh yeah, well he does this a lot, he does this a lot. But you know what I mean? And then times are passing, you do a lot of learning and you're constantly learning. It's just like music, with like music production and stuff, you many different things, you're constantly learning.
No, I think in boxing you're constantly
you're not always going to have the same fight.
With strategy.
Styles make fight, innit? You're not always going to have the same fight, so you can't look at other people's videos and think, oh well, he's going to fight like
some
this.
Some people are different though.
He's going to do this.
No, but for example, as a coach, you will go like watch another fighter fight, and in your mind you believe like he's got strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah,
we all do that. Yeah. So that's his strength, that's his weakness. So how do I counteract his strength and weakness? So what I'll do is, if a boxer likes to box, I'll fight him. Yeah. If a guy likes to fight, I make him box. Yeah. That's how I do. So I try to fight opposites. So I adapt to my opponent, and that's by watching other boxers box in the past and realizing what makes them tick. So for example, Floyd, he's really good at making adjustments. So if you want to be a real boxer, you've got to make adjustments in the fight. That's what I mean.
So Floyd Mayweather don't really look at his opponent and say, "Oh, he fights like this, blah blah." He might get his team to have a look at things, and then like he might have a certain strategy with them. It's like, look, don't tell me this, whatever. You just implement and make some of the training strategies that we do. That's probably the best way, because it's like, you know, like David Goggins talking about it a lot when he's saying like these. Everybody has these demons.
Yeah.
And when you're fascinated on that fighter, you're taking, I can explain it. You're basically giving yourself them demons. That what if this happens? What if, you know what I mean? You've seen a couple of fights and he can dig a bit.
Well,
and then you start thinking, oh, well, what if he catches me with that? That's why in amateurs and stuff. Like, I used to see a lot of fighters like going up to like Richard and that, like going, oh, when we're fighting, how many fights he had, blah, 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 blah. I was never bothered about that. I was like, listen, just take me where I'm fighting, take me to fight, and I just want to fight. I just love boxing. I want to do boxing and I want to fight. I don't care who's going to be in that ring. I just want to fight them.
Records are for DJs, bro. That's what people
exactly. I mean, I never gave a fuck about that. If I had a fight, I'm going in a fight. I didn't care what the opponent were. I weren't even bothered about, even when I were at the venue, I weren't even bothered about looking at them, trying to look and see who my opponent is. I just weren't bothered.
Some people get shit themselves.
I knew I was getting in a fight. I knew what could happen. I knew the risks. And it's like, look, if I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? I want to do this for a reason. You know what I mean? I want to do something great. You know what I mean? But it's like, back then, I was just doing it because I enjoyed it, but I don't think I had enough passion for it, to want to do like the grueling like runs in the morning and stuff. And it's like, I don't know. It's like I guess maybe when I first started boxing, maybe my intentions of going to boxing was wrong. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to be famous. You know what I mean? It's like, I've made it. You know what I mean? It's like maybe I was going in wanting boxing for the wrong reasons at the time.
Yeah.
That's why I never really pushed myself the way I should.
Yeah, I mean, we all, like I say, you learn now, you're older, you've got experience and wisdom.
Yeah.
But that's what Brennan used to say all the time, when experience is something you can't borrow or pretend to have.
It's all
like,
experience.
If you know what you know, nice hindsight, isn't it? It's all experience.
Yeah. It's like if I knew what I knew now in them amateurs fights, I could potentially still be unbeaten. You know what I mean? I could have been. I mean, because I was tough enough. You know, I mean, even some of the kids that I fought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like I fought this one kid called Arando, and like some of the kids from thingy saying, "Oh yeah, you knocked this kid out," blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? The guy was strong as fuck, man. He's got a really fucking good punch on him, and he's strong as fuck, and he can hit hard with both hands. But we had a very very good fight, a good amateur fight, and it was like got one of the videos on me YouTube. And it was like a good fight, man. It was a proper good fight. And it's like, it was things like that. It's like I weren't bothered about, oh, he did this, he did that. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't whittle about stuff like, it's like, look, I'm going to feel you out. It's like, end of the day, I'm going to look my opponent dead in the eyes.
Yeah. And
they're going to know as soon as they're in the ring, it's a fight.
Well, that's the thing.
You know what I mean, it's a fight. I'm going to do whatever. You know what I mean? The guy was strong. And I would he would seem to be catching me a lot more when I were orthodox.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I turned southpaw, you can see them cogs working. It's like, he weren't used to fighting southpaws, and that's why it ended up on a split decision, that fight, because one of the judges said that he thought I won it, and I think it were two of the other judges said other kid won it.
So it's split. So if you didn't you ever fight him again?
No, I had a spar with him. I've had a sparring with him. That's when I was getting ready to turn professional. When I was sparring with like.
Did you spar at Ryan's?
Yeah. When he came in, I ended up being quite good friends with him, and I invited him to have a sparring that because he was thinking about getting back in boxing. I think he was he was doing his amateur boxing, and he did. What's it called now? No, he was more a businessman now. You know what I mean? He's trying to, you know what I mean, like get business running. I can't remember what it's called. ACN or whatever.
You're on that ACN, Communications Network market model.
He's doing really well for himself. You know what I mean? He's taking himself on holiday and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And going abroad and stuff, and like he's doing right well for himself. Got a nice car and that. Doing right well for himself. I think if he stuck to boxing, he'd be a very very good fighter.
Big shout out a moment to KR's Dining Kitchen. They supported us last week. That's the Facebook page. Give a like and comment and share. Join the page, man. Some delicious food. Sheffield City Centre, North Church Street.
Bad boy food.
Come on, man.
Told me mum like, oh, you got to order from there, man. It's proper bad boy food.
So shout out to KR's Kitchen, man. Bless up, man. Thank you for supporting us. But I'm going to stay live for like 5 more minutes. If you've got any questions, let us know. Like it's boxing this week. Next week we're going to change it up. Something different. But we had 2 guests obviously had alternate arrangements, so we enjoyed that to wing it. So the top picks were kind of there for us. And let's have a quick look on Instagram if you've got any questions in there.
So that I love boxing, me though. You know what I mean? It's like, I think the most I keep saying a joke about it that, I want to hit somebody and not get arrested for it. You know what I mean? I know, it's like, that's just me just having a giggle, but it's proper doing my head in. You know, when you're used to doing something, it's like, you can't do it the way you was doing it before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't know, I lose, if I can't go and spar, I just lose all motivation. You know what I mean? It's like...
Boxing's a part of you, man. I think it's in your bloodline anyway, and it's part of your family.
I think all this lockdown's been a blessing in disguise for me. Anyway.
In what sense?
Because it's like, because boxing was taken away, like sparring and stuff, it made me look a bit more into myself. You know what I mean? Because I had more time to think about, I mean, what have I done with my life? I mean, I've been doing boxing. You know what I mean? I've been doing well for everybody saying, oh, you're doing right well, you're doing right well. But it's like, for me, I haven't really achieved anything. You know what I mean? Because my record's shit. You know what I mean? Not to say that, I mean, I did shit. I always fought good, but I just didn't do enough. It's like I was just doing it just because I wanted to do it. But I weren't putting the hard work in, you know, like getting up every single morning, going for a run.
Were you saying COVID has reinvigorated your boxing burn?
It has, because it started doing me head in that I've not gone. It's kind of like that, you know, that thing, look what you could have won, look what you could have been doing. And you've been just wasted all your time, you've been fucking training because you enjoy doing it, you know what I mean? Like having body spars or whatever and doing open sparring and stuff, getting decent spars or whatever. But, you know what I mean, I think that the only time I proper were on it is when me and you were like doing the runs and stuff, you know, just before I was getting ready to turn professional.
Yeah.
That's when I was proper on it. I was dieting everything, we were running every single morning. I was on it, man. I was sparring with some decent fighters as well, you know what I mean?
No, you can get back there, fam. It's all for a reason, bro. So,
well, that's it. I know I can, but it's just like, it's just one of them. It's giving me that extra boost to say, look, stop saying you're going to do this and then not doing it.
Yeah.
Stop saying in your own head, yeah, I'm going to go for a run in the morning, and then fucking letting them demons creep in. You know what I mean? Like, oh, my bed's warm. Oh, yeah, I can just do it tomorrow.
No, man, you've been smashing with it.
But that's what I mean. This last week I've been a bit lazy because I did a water fast. You know what I mean? So I basically
what's that?
So basically, you just drink water. You know what I mean? I tried going for 3 days, but then it got a bit unbearable. After about 36 hours, I was like, nah, fuck that, I need some food. But it's supposed to cleanse all your body and restart your body and stuff.
Okay.
So it's like, but they said it's not good to be training and, you know, doing high intensity training and stuff. So I thought, do you know what? When I train or when I go for a run, I want to go for a grueling run. I want to feel it, you know what I mean? I want to feel it's not nice. Nobody likes doing it.
What time are you going for these runs though?
When I go for a run, next one's going to be Monday. That's going to be the Rutland Road one.
How many miles is that though? For people who don't know the distance.
Do you know what? I've not done it on my Strava. I've not done it on my Strava, so I don't know exactly how.
Approximately, about 5 miles, 6 miles.
I'd say about 6 mile. I think about 6 mile.
And you're sweating your nuts off by the time you get home.
Well, I wear a sweatsuit as well.
So you definitely
wear a sweatsuit and a jumper.
Definitely sweating.
Oh, do you know what though? Do you know the bottoms to my sweatsuit? It's fucking ripped, innit?
Oh my gosh.
It's ripped, so I've only got the top now. But yeah, I'd want to put myself through it. You know what I mean? It's like there's been times when, like, in sparring and stuff, it's like, it's right weird because it's like, I couldn't be asked to get up and go for a run before, but I'll happily go to the gym in a sweatsuit and do a full-on spar when somebody's trying to take my head off, which is stupid to do, but I don't know, it's just I want to feel it though. I want to feel tired, I want to feel that last bit of thing where you're like, if I make one mistake, I'm like, go away, right shot, and I'm feeling tired. It puts that fucking...
more like a real life scenario when you do what you're doing.
Yeah, that puts you in that mental fucking vision of like, every fight I get into, I'm expecting this to be fucking hard work. I mean, I'm not expecting it to be some more, you know what I mean, just dance around ring. I mean, I want to fight you, you know what I mean? If I'm getting in the ring with you, I want to fight you. And
you should be a walking park anyway, should it?
No, but I don't know. It's just, I always put myself in that frame of mind, like, I don't know. I don't know. I lost a lot of motivation when I didn't get my pro license. You know what I mean? It's like, I started asking myself questions like, why am I even doing it? Why am I even doing boxing? You know what I mean? Yeah, it keeps myself fit, does this, whatever, but you know what I mean? It's better than going out and chilling somebody on the street and then getting arrested for it and then fucking my whole life up. You know what I mean?
No, I think boxing, you're undervaluing it. I think when you look back on when you start boxing, you're fresh out of a certain situation, but it gives you a massive focus in your life.
You did. And before I started Brendan Ingalls, I'd just come out of jail. I
mean, this is the thing, what people don't understand about boxing, yeah. So you get in boxing, and you could be around a certain social circle, like for example, people who are doing bad mind in ghetto or whatever, selling drugs. And you go to a boxing gym and you go there every day, and this is exactly what happened to me. go to Brendan's and you start going there. So you go there like 4 o'clock to get good spark. Remember Brendan's?
Yeah.
So you go there like 4 o'clock.
Loved it.
And you'd stay there.
How can you forget Brendan's?
No, but I'm
once
saying,
you've been to Brendan's, you can't forget it.
No, but you know you can't.
Yeah, I know.
So you get there 4 o'clock for a spark.
Yeah.
By 5 o'clock you're sparring, and then you finish that. You get out, you do the lines, then you do your blows, and then obviously you get it's like a family there, a family unit. So shout out to Meningos. And then when you go there, after that you talk to everyone. So you're in the gym now for like another half an hour. By the time you leave back to your yard, you've been there 2.5 hours every day.
So when I used to go down there and spend all day down there.
So you spend more time with your gym buddies than you do with your family. And not only that, you spend more time with them than you probably do with your friends who do a bad mind. And then in that time, most people at a boxing gym don't want to bring no negativity there because Brendan's instilled that energy. So you're around positive energy. So for example, people are like, oh, I'm going to college, or oh, I'm going to university, or I've got a good job. Do you get what I mean? So it's like, yeah, shout out to Ryan. Ryan's a product of Brendan Ingles. Look what Ryan's achieved just from being around Brendan's energy. Shout out to my mentor there, Brendan, as well. Love this guy, man.
Yeah, man.
Love Brendan.
So I mean, like with Brendan, it's like, for me, it's like back then when I just come out of jail and that, well, like before I went in, even before I went in jail, it's just like I had a completely different outlook on life. I don't know, I just fucking. Do you know that kind of one of them people that just feels sorry for themselves? Why does this have to? Why do I don't fucking never got no money? Blah blah blah. And I never did anything, you know, to change that situation. I never really found any motivation from anybody. But then, like when I started at the gym, I used to go to because I never worked at the time. Like my partner I was with at the time, she was working or whatever. And all I used to do is I used to wake up probably about 9 o'clock. Go straight down to the gym, and I just sit with Brendan all day, every single day, Monday to Friday, and then like weekends I'd just rest or whatever. I mean, I'll just chill.
This is Jordan there.
But that's what I used to do. I used to go down and help him like litter picking.
No, but the thing is with you with Brendan's. Change this around.
Like the talks that I used to have with Brendan, it just made me look at. Like same as talks that I have with you, you know what I mean? It's like it just makes. You know what I mean? If I'm feeling a bit pissed off about something, like Brendan, like when I'm talking to you, you just give me a different way of thinking of it, and then it thinks, why am I even angry? I mean, it's like, why is it annoying me so much? Why is it frustrating me so much?
I think it's because we instill positive energy, and that's what I'm saying about boxing. That's what boxing's done for me. So when I said to you earlier, you're undervalued, my point was. It does a lot of things for your life. It can dramatically change your life if you're on certain social circles. And that British belt I'm holding is not mine, by the way. I'm not getting gassed. That's Ryan Rhodes' belt. I held it when I was 26 double R fitness. So shout out to 26 double R fitness, man. Ryan Rhodes, champion. So yeah, boxing for me dramatically changed my life. It's influenced and shaped who I am as a person, as a man. So I thank God every single day that I was fortunate to be around the sport. I mean, I like to give back now, and I'm a coach and stuff. Yeah, so I coach because I love passing on that information that I was passed on to me. And not only that, I think it dramatically can change your kid's life. If a kid was boxing from very young, for example, I was always in trouble at school. I was a bit of a tearaway at school. I never finished school. In fact, I think I attended 35% in Y10 and 45% in Y11. I thought if you got a U and a V and a G in alphabet, you got back by yours.
I very rarely went to fucking school. Back in secondary school, I think it was like after about year 8, I spent more time on Concord Park. I got proper getting stoned.
I got proper shit grades, man. I got seriously shit grades, and then I went to college. And I
always used to go to my favourite lesson. Dinner. Teaches you all your nutrition.
Yeah, I can raise some dinner tickets from school, fam. And then certain guys just get dinner tickets, so we used to go get like free sandwiches and free cans of pop, free chocolate bars, 2 apples and shit. But yeah, boxing. What I'm saying is that I did quite bad at school. I was blessed in the sense I was smart, but I was not true. I was truant.
Yeah.
So I didn't attend. So when I went to college later on in life, and I was like 16, 17. But at the same time, ironically, I was at Ingles, and Brendan instilled stuff into me like hard work, dedication. Can you read? Can you write? It made you feel like a bit stupid if you couldn't. I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to go back to college, fam. Shout out to Lee Duncan, who's a product of Brendan Ingalls, and he's come on really well. He's not exactly a boxer, but he's a smart man. That's what I'm trying to say. Boxing helps people in
very tricky though. You're very tricky though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's like he's successful in his own way away from boxing. Shout out to Richard Towers as well, because he came from Ingalls. And
there's plenty of boxers that are like, they're not so much known as boxers now, but they've had successful careers.
Life coaches though. Positive mentors, what I'm trying to say. Boxing is still something inside you. You pass that on to other people, so it's a big thing. So I'm gonna get rid of these facts now. I'm gonna go back to the last point, the first point, and finish on that. So last one now, we're gonna finish on Canelo versus Yildirim. Let's finishing thoughts on this one. So what are you saying? What thoughts? As in, what do you believe Canelo's going to win this fight?
I'd say if he's on his A game, he's switched on, he'll probably finish him within 3 rounds, I think.
3 rounds? Nah. I think it's going to go like 6 or 7 rounds. I've got Canelo by stoppage, 6-7 rounds. I think Yildirim will come in strong for the first 2 rounds.
I think it all depends on what mindset Canelo's got.
So I say
is he looking at it as an easy walkover fight, and will his is he going to turn up? You know what I mean? What's it? Yildirim.
Yildirim, yeah.
Is he going to turn up? Is he going to want it? I mean, like we're saying with that difference between when somebody's just turning up for a paycheck to when somebody actually wants it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big target on fucking his head, Canelo. You know what I mean? Like everybody, thinks, well, what if I can just do this?
No, it's true.
If somebody gets that belief in it,
I don't believe Yildirim is going to do it. I believe if anyone could do it, it could be Billy Joe Saunders or Caleb Plant. But also, not only that, I can't not what's the twins called? The Charlo twins.
Charlo twins.
I think they could dethrone them as well. That's just me. But yeah,
they could.
We're going to finish it there. It's a quick one today because there's only 2 of us and we don't want to be dragging it on too long. But we'll try to.
Don't want to be dragging his heels with it.
Yeah, that's it. So, but thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
Like I said, this link underneath. Let me just get rid of this a second. This link is going to be below on the YouTube. Feel free to donate to our show because we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We want to take it on the road and we're going to be doing charity work. That's the intention.
That's the intention.
So don't believe we're just going to get the money, be flossing and shit.
I want to check that what I was saying earlier. I want to try and partner up with Ryan and see if there's something that maybe say that community of Leeds and like through Sheffield, see if we get some sort of teamwork going on.
Yeah.
And we're like helping people on the street because we're going to show people there is another way. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know what they've got in their head to think that that's it. I'm homeless. This is me for the rest of my life.
I'm gonna do one more.
There's got to be something to it.
I'm going to do one more charity shout out as well because these guys have done great work. Shout out to YCF. Yusuf's Charity Foundation is a non-profit charity set by a small group of friends on behalf of our beloved brother, Yusuf Tabet. Yeah? You can see the GoFundMe there. You can pause it, write it down. Doing charity donations to Yemen. Donations, yeah, for starving people of Yemen. So just make sure you give to that cause as well. It's a fantastic cause. That's set by some kids in the community. They've got a goal really to raise £1,000 and send that to Yemen, man. So shout out to them guys. Peace and blessings and mercy for everyone, man. I'm out of here. It's
been emotional.
Bless up, man.
Yeah. No.